Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela, I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and welcome back to another live. Since changing this computer over, the editing software wants me to do different things and it's getting confusing first thing. So at least I'm here now. That's the main thing. Right, so let's get in with what I've already stuck in the description box. Read through that quickly and then we'll be able to get on with saying hello to you all. Right, okay, so of course, as per normal, the pinned comment at the top is for the Ravelry stuff. So that is for all the patterns that you can see behind you, that are mine, of course. And that is, yeah, for the written patterns behind me. Yeah, it's one of them days, gang. One of them days. Right, the next button down is, please, if you could, hit the thumbs up button and make sure you are subscribed. That is brilliant. If your comments are not coming up in the chat window, that means that the bots have been in again, knock you on the head. So it means that you need to pop back in and rejoin the channel. Don't panic, that's the button that doesn't cost you anything to do. Okay, so make sure that you are subscribed. That way, of course, it means there's one less hoop for you to jump through later when you come to claim your winners only prize. Talking of the winners only prize, this month's winners only pattern is a Bad Brother. It is from my Marvellous set and it is a 59 rows. Now remember, if you are lucky enough to win that today, you only have 3 days to claim because you were here, so you know you've won it. Okay, so that then gives me a more opportunity later on this week to get on with other stuff for the channel and not just be sitting here glued to emails. Okay, so while I'm chatting away, I will find the image for you for Bad Brother. So there he is. I've done it. Getting better at this today. Okay, so there he is. There is our Bad Brother. I'm sorry the image is not so brilliant. But as I said, he is part of the Marvellous range and he is the brother that goes alongside Iceberg, if you're lucky enough to already have that pattern. If not, don't worry, at some point I'll hand out vault passes and then that means that you can jump in and grab any of the other patterns I have out of the Marvellous range and the Dismay range that are winner onlys, so you'll get the opportunity to get your hands on one of those. Right, I think I've talked all that extra bit, haven't I? All right, so Kaz was in straight off this morning or this evening, as it's her time over there. She's saying hello, Ange, and fellow crazy. So hello, Kaz. Thank you for being at least 7 minutes early today. And then we got, of course, me responding to that saying, give me 7 minutes. Kath's Eye Catchers is in and she's saying hello to Kath, and so is our Crafty Moo, aka Sarah. She's saying hello to everybody. And she's been over to Froggy. She said to say hi to me, Ange, and to send her love. Oh, bless. I haven't been over there for a little while. I need to go at some point. But this morning it was a case of tutorials and Throwback Fridays. So I've edited 2 Throwback Fridays for you guys that will go out later on in the month or possibly next month now. And of course I am adding the bolt-on. I'm doing the video for the Stitcher Weeks, so that explains what the Stitcher Week is all about, which really should have been the first video out, but of course you lot know me, it's never quite, I never quite do things around the right way, do I? So we've got that one there, and I'm also working on the edit so that people that have made the smaller version of the cobblestone can then upsize it. Okay, mine looks really rough and really dodgy because 1, I haven't sewn in the ends, and 2, I certainly didn't make the colours match, but I've done that purposely so you can see the difference between where the small square was and the extra bit that you would need to do if you don't read the description box of my videos. Okay, so if you're starting it now, read the description box. It gives you the chain count that you will need to make the larger square over having to make the smaller square and then add a border to it. But yeah, that is the first one done. I've got another 3 to go, sorry. But yeah, that's today's jobs that I was doing. And then tomorrow I might have some fun and actually create a pattern. It would be nice to do something a little bit different. Right. Kathy's saying hello to Sarah. Sarah's saying hi to Kaz and Kath. Jane has is in the building. She's saying hello, Angela. Hello, darling. Jane, I haven't received an email from you yet because, of course, you won the pattern yesterday. So do yourself a favour, pop out for a second, pop a comment on yesterday's live, fire me off that email, and then I will get to it when I get back from the school run later on this afternoon. And then, of course, make sure you come back and see us. We'll still be here in 5 minutes. Yeah, so who else is here? Is anybody else off the list? No, so far only Amy, our new crazy, has actually come in and grabbed her pattern out of the 4 girls that won yesterday. Right, so what are you lot all doing at the moment? Are you crocheting or are you chilling out? I'm just going to get you to answer that. Posties just arrived at the door. I will see you in a second. How? Hello, darling. Oh, just that. Okay, thanks, bye. Bye. Oh. That was hubby's. It's got to be for hubby. It's something long and in a tube. Look like a bit of a poking stick as he's standing halfway up going, yeah, you can have it from here. Right, so oh, I didn't realise the chat hadn't moved. Right, so let's on top chat, not live chat. Sorry if I've missed any of you. I will just scoot that over now. Rosalinda, I'm hoping I've said that correctly. Sorry if I've got it wrong, darling. Welcome into the channel. She's saying hello. She is new to the channel. Yay, another new crazy. And then there we go. We've got Sarah saying hi to Jane and Amy. And Sarah saying hi to Rosalinda. And Kath saying still needs to claim yesterday's. Exactly. If you haven't claimed your winners, your winner only pattern from yesterday, gang, get to it because you technically only have 2 days left now. Or just over 2 days left to do it in. And Kathy's saying, hi Rosalinda, welcome to the crazy bin. Yep, it is a crazy bin, but I tell you what, we have a good old giggle here. And I'm just going to shorten yours down. I hope you don't mind. So just call you Rosa. And she's saying hello to Sarah. Trish is in the house. She's saying she loves the Beard Brother. Thank you very much, darling. Kath also loves him. And Kaz is saying hi to Kath. Kath is saying that she loves the good one as well. Well, of course, the good one was Iceberg, and he was available last year. But you will be able to get your hands on him if you're lucky enough to win a Vault Pass at a later point. So keep an eye out on the videos that I put out, because it's not only the lives that you could win, it's also the standalone videos as well. Kaz is saying hi to Sarah. Jane is saying I can do all that on my phone, so she doesn't need to leave. And bonus, I'll expect that email to ping up any second, girl. Sarah is saying she's doing her Havana mosaic and drinking tea as it is her lunch break. Trish is deciding on what she's going to crochet later. Ooh, it's a case of eyeing up that yarn and seeing what you've got, isn't it, darling? Or are you one of these that you buy the yarn and you stick it with the pattern and you have a couple of bags hanging around and you go, right, I'm doing that one today. Right, Trish, no, sorry, wrong person there. Kath is saying knitting, but her cat has decided to lay on her chest, so she guesses that she's done with her then. Oh, bless, cat wants snuggles. Amy is saying she's trying to finish the border on a baby blanket, but her little one keeps bugging her to play Xbox. Oh, I'm trying to think how you could do that. Hey, it depends on the age of the child, I suppose, but set them up on a fighting game, and then you can just put the controller holes on the floor and push it with your feet. You never know, the combinations might work. That's what I used to do with all the older fighting games that we used to have back in like the 90s and stuff, 90s, 2000s, where you had to, like, I think it was called Tico or something like that, but you had to do all these different random combinations and it would make it kick, and another one would make it do fly across the screen. I could never remember what they were, so I was one of them annoying random button pushers that seemed to win just because I was quick enough to push the buttons and find some really strange moves. So Rosa is saying that she is waiting to send her kids off to school. Oh, let me think, -5. Are you in America, darling, by any chance? Trish is saying she buys the yarn she likes, then she tries to match it with the pattern later. Yeah, that's pretty much the same as me, isn't it? And Kath remembers it, Tekan. Yes, that is how it's spelled, and probably definitely not how it's said. But yeah, it was like my friends would have the games consoles where you could play those sort of games. We had an Atari, which was a really old computer system, which had the 3.5 floppy disks. So that was way before the Xbox and all of that. I had the floppy disks, and that was that, and the maximum of 3 lives per game. And then you'd have games that had like 100 levels, and you had to try and get as far as possible on 3 lives. But yeah, that was it. My parents couldn't afford all the expensive game systems and things like that, so we didn't have them growing up. It was only if we went round to our friends' houses that we then had the opportunity to play all of these games, and they'd have to kick us out. Yeah, Kathy's like me. She would just jam all the buttons and she'd manage to win. So Rosa's from Texas, so that's cool. It's another American. I'm getting pretty nifty at working it out. When someone says kids are about to go to school and it's lunchtime here, it's normally about a 5-hour gap, isn't it? And Kathy's saying that the Tekan was on her first PlayStation. Oh, you was posh. You got a PlayStation. Oh, I don't think I got my hands on a Did I ever buy a PlayStation? No. The first games console I actually bought was a Wii. Personally, for me and my family, it was a Wii. They've got an Xbox sitting in the cupboard now that sits next door to the Wii. They've got a VR set that's gone up the office so my husband can play. And then of course we've all got our PC towers, so we're pretty much PC tower gamers rather than console gaming. Right, so Kath, have you shooed the cat away yet? So you can get on with some more knitting. Rose, what will you be working on once the kids have legged it to school, or have you got to do all that horrible housework first? Apologies for swearing at you, honey. Right, you girls have gone quiet on me. Right, okay, so let me think. For the new girls that have just come in, I'm running what's called a stitch a week. Now this is showing you a different stitch that I've come across that I've learned. And talking you through it and talking you through how I do it, and hoping that you will like it too. And now some girls are using the Stitch a Week tutorials to make washcloths because they're over in America. Other girls are using it to make pillows. Someone else is making their blanket. Someone else will probably turn it into clothing. So the Stitch a Week, the plan is to have 50 different stitches by the end of this year, for you to either choose from or to use to create a blanket or something else. And so far we are up to stitch number, gotta get them all, gotta get it out. No, where are you? I've got too many of them sitting. Not too many, sorry, wrong phrase. I've got a few sitting here. We're on 7, aren't we now? And so this one is a stitch number 7, okay, which is of course our open shell stitch, but as you saw by the wad that I've got here, there are a few more stitches there, and it's not just shell stitches. We have got corner to corner, we have got the small corner to corner, we've got shells and chains, we've got all sorts. So if you fancy joining in on that, there is a playlist that you'll be able to quite easily find on the channel that says a stitch a week. But double check that description box before you start, otherwise you'll end up having to revisit the first 4 squares to make them the same size as the rest of them. Because of course I started it early and I hadn't thought of what I was going to do with the squares. Kathy's saying she had a Nintendo, a Sega and the PlayStation, and the last one was the Wii. Whoa, you had the collection. Have you still got any of them though? Because some purist gamers are looking now for the original PlayStations, the original Segas and all of that sort of stuff, and the prices of them are immensely high. So if you don't want it anymore, it's the best time to sell them. Not only that, I might know of someone that might want to buy them. He's over in Australia though, so I'd have to check with him first as to which ones he's got and whether it would be compatible with what the games that he has over there. Amy is saying it is her half term where she is and it's raining, so she's glad for games consoles. And Jane has said her son has had most of the consoles except for the PlayStation 5. Kathy's saying, nope, Judy. The cat is purring away on her chest. She's just finished making biscuits and scratching me raw in the process. That sneaky little monkey. And Sarah will be back in a second. She's just gone to make herself a cuppa. Kathy's saying she's always been a Nintendo girl. She just likes their games most. And Trish is saying that she can do one of the stitch patterns tonight. Yes, with these, they only take about an hour. But as I said, make sure that you look at the description box first so that you know exactly how many you need to chain to make sure that it's the same size as the newer ones, which is from video 5 upwards. They're all going to be the same size as video number 5. So if you wanted, you could start on video number 5 like Kath did and work your way backwards. So that way all your squares are going to be the same size. And then once you've done it, Trish, take a photograph and send it to me via email, and then I'll be able to show off your squares that you've done on Sunday's Whips, Bits and Chat. And there's the same for everybody else. If you create any of the patterns that I've got on my channel or join in on the Stitch a Week, make sure you send me over those photos so I can show all the rest of the crazies what you've been up to. Kathy's saying she's still got some of her Nintendo computer games. Hello, Crafty. Welcome in, darling. She's saying hello. I don't think I got notice for this. It will probably tip up in about half an hour. I haven't had a notice for it either, but then I did only set it up about an hour ago, so that may be why. But it might be a good idea to have a nose at your at the bell to make sure you've got all selected for this channel. That way, hopefully, fingers crossed, it will fire it over to you. A notification, that is. Oh, Trish had the upgrade. She had her boys had the Amstrad 64, which used cassettes. I used to live quite close to the Amstrad factory, so we had the one with the floppy disks. Kathy's saying hello to Alice. Alice is saying hello to Kath and everybody else. That's going to confuse me now. I'm going to wonder, who is Alice? Whoa, Kath is saying she has the Tandy. We are really going into old computer consoles here, aren't we? I thought we were a crocheting community. It's fine. Yes, Rose, that is a corner to corner behind me. It is done with the corner to corner mini stitch, which is block number 4 on the Stitch a Week. because otherwise it would be the size of a double bed. I did start doing it in a corner to corner standard, but I realised at row 53 that my maths was completely off when I tried to work it out. Not only was I going to run out of yarn, but I was also going to run out of anywhere to hang it or to place it, basically, because it would have been far too big. The pattern is called Timothy the Tiger, and it's available over on the Ravelry shop. There is a link at the top of the chat. It's the one that's marked out. That will take you straight over to the Ravelry store, where you could purchase the pattern if you wanted to. It is not going to be a tutorial on the channel because of its size. It won't fit on my table. So if a blanket is too big, then I'm sorry to say they will be straight to the shop rather than on the channel as a tutorial. But the patterns themselves do have links to a how-to video, so that's how to do either the corner to corner standard, corner to corner mini, and of course how to do the tips and tricks video that will go along with these, so that it shows you how to change the colour from one to another, how far you can really get away with carrying your yarn, and all the other little tips and tricks that I've come across as I've been doing it. So hopefully, if, as I said, there's that one there, but there are quite a few more that are around as well, which you will see on the opening titles of some of the videos that I put out. Where are we? I've lost you again. And there we go. So Ricola's in. Welcome in, darling. She's saying hello to everybody. Yeah. Right. So Kathy's saying, oh, don't say that. Now I am going to be singing that song all day. You know that version of A Living Next Door to Alice, where the chorus they shout, Alice, Alice, who that is Alice? That's why I stopped saying what I was saying, so I didn't say that out loud. I can't believe you got me to say it, Kath. Sorry, Alice, we're picking on you. I bet she's probably heard that 30 times already this week. Or at least she would if she lived close to us. It's one of my husband's favourite phrases. I used to have a lass that would come round that was called Alice, and he would do it all the time because he knew it wound her up and he weren't keen on her. So she would leave quite quickly if she knew he was coming home. It was a good way to get her to leave, to be honest. And Jane is saying that she had a ZX80 and then upgraded to the ZX81. Then next was the Commodore 64. And then she got her PC in 1996. Oh, whoa. I can't believe as I'm reading these out, I'm actually able to visualise the console, so I know which one you're talking about. But for anybody that doesn't, just copy the text and stick it in your search engine. You'll look at these and you'll be like, what? That's archaic. Because they are. Then we got Ricola saying hi to Catherine. And Kathy's saying, gosh, I feel old with all the computers. I know, and we're not exactly even half a century yet, are we, girl? We'll get there soon, though. Yes, Kath, I know. Right, Kath is saying Alice is used to us picking on her and each other. I know, but you know me. Sometimes my brain, I like to apologise, just in case the new crazies think I'm a complete and utter evil cowbag. Yeah, because if the picking on each other gets too much, you get put in time out. I did that to my best mate a couple of months ago when she came on. She was giving me gyps. She was my brain cell was giving me gyps. So I put her on time out. She came back though. Oh no, the threat's out there now. Our crafty is saying she can hold her punches. She gives them too, but saying that she'll save them for one of Reggie's lives. Oh, I tell you what, it's a good old giggle when we all pick on each other, innit? So crafty, are you making anything at the moment, honey? Apart from trying to make me spit my drink out. I'm trying to think what I've got here to show you that's new. I haven't got anything new that I've created. I've just been working on the mosaic crochet from Courtney at Fiberfox Studios, because I was really lucky. I won a set of 30 of her patterns, and I'd attempted mosaic crochet before, but only done about 4 rows, so ended up with a headband. And then gave up. Whereas this time round, I actually I watched the video, I followed along with the video for 2 repeats, and then I moved on to the written word and how she'd written it out in one of her patterns. So I can understand the written side of it now. It's just working out the chart side of it that I will need to do next, but I'm not going to do that with this pattern. I'll wait until I work on the next one. Right, hold on. Kath has come in with, no, not even that old, and now we carry a PC in our pocket. You wouldn't believe it, would you, if you told me in the 90s? Do you remember back when your teachers used to say, you need maths? It's not like you can carry your calculator around with you all the time. Yes, we can. The other one that gets me at the moment is I'm watching Star Trek, and I started watching the series from the original Star Trek from like the 60s. And my daughter every now and then comes down and she looks and she goes, oh gosh, you're watching it again. And I'm like, no, it's a different season, or it's a different series within the set now. And she's sitting there, and of course, I think it was John Luke's sitting there, and he's holding this lump of plastic, and he's going like that. And she's gone, oh, he's got a tablet. I said, no, that's where the creators of tablets got the idea from. I said, because tablets weren't around back then. And she's like, oh. And then another one's pulled out like the communication device and flipped it. She's gone, oh, he's got a flip phone. They're old, aren't they? I said, darling, mobile phones weren't even around when Kirk had his flip phone. And I said, where do you think they get the idea? So now she comes down and she's like, right, so who's nicked the idea from Star Trek this week? Kathy's saying we're in trouble now. Only normal amounts of trouble, innit? Crafty is saying spit takes is what she lives for, what lives are for. Yeah, that's why the drink's staying where it is for the second. And Crafty is saying she's actually working on mini blankets, team blankets for her parents though, and mostly what is that, Lensa and Ulster colours. Ooh. And Kathy's saying, yep, the joke's on them. I tell you what, the people that did all the gadgets and stuff for Star Trek really should have marketed it and put tabs on it. You realise how much they would have made from people like Nokia and Vodafone and all that, and let alone the computer companies. Right, so yeah, the jokes, and Kathy's saying about the jokes on Star Trek. Yeah, the old ones. Oh, there's no tongue in cheek in regards to the comedy there, was there? For the first set. I don't know what that last word is. Pro. You're gonna have to rewrite that comment about, yeah, Star Trek is so something or other. I can't work that word out. Sorry, darling. And Crafty is saying she did that too recently with a friend of hers. The dated racism, ageism is so worth it. It was yeah, comparing then to now, that's what I'm doing with my daughter anyway, because she's got Asperger's. There's certain skills that she's not able to pick up as easily. So I said to her, because like she loves Big Bang Theory and Sheldon and all that. So I said to her, why do you think Sheldon has got such a big thing for Star Trek? She said, well, I don't know. I said, well, every story ends in a moral. They're working around some sort of moral. And she's like, oh, I hadn't realised that. So we sat down and she watched one, and it was one of the original ones. So it was with was it Kirk? And of course, Kirk's got a new love interest, and it's a different love interest every week. And it's in today, when you look at it today, it's very sexist. There's so many different issues with it for today's viewing. that in some places it's a little bit uncomfortable. And she's sitting there going, this is a bit uncomfortable, rah, rah, rah. And I said, well, there's the difference. I said, you've spotted the difference between how things were back when your nan was dating, or whenever it was filmed, right? So your nan's generation to how your generation portray things now. I said, but the thing is, it's good to sit and watch it so that you can have a conversation about all these different aspects and see how much things have changed over the last 20-30 years. So of course, by the time I got to Next Generation, things had changed again. But I'd also pulled out the fact that on the first Star Trek they had a female black person as Lahora, or whatever her name is, I can't pronounce it, but she was one of the first black ladies that was in a predominantly white TV show. And so I was saying how they were breaking rules and different rules and things as they went along and trying to incorporate people. So they, although it was a bit sexually promiscuous, it wasn't too bad, and it helped out in other ways. And Kathy's saying same thing with Bond gadgets, if only they painted them so that they can make some cash of it. Oh, visionary. Thank you, darling. So Kathy's saying, sorry, Han, they are visionary. They saw the future. Yeah, I think one of the makers there done a bit of time travelling himself, didn't he? Crafty's got a thing for Picard. She's saying no one can top a Picard. Sorry, not worth arguing. You can have your Picard. I'll stick with Data, thank you. Because hey, to show his affection, he does housework. And he's got an off button. Perfect, man. Perfect. Kathy's saying yes, she thinks it's great that sexism, that the sexism and racism is making us uncomfortable. It means that we're realising it was wrong, as opposed to being a normal then. Kathy's saying she can't call herself a Trekkie, but she's a Next Gen fan too. Me and her have had a conversation about it offline, so she now knows the real reason why I like Data. Detachable head. She's saying yes, also gay, but that is a detail. But is he? I don't think so. I think he swings both ways. Right, stop, you'll get me in trouble. Not only that, he's trying to make me spit out my drink. Okay, so who's still in here? We've still got 8 of you that are stuck about. So let's go back on to these old traditional sayings. Now, I've been running these over the last month or so. Basically, over in the UK, there was a news report that stated that there was 50 sayings that are going out of fashion or aren't really being used anymore. We're at risk of losing them. So I thought, well, I've got the list here, and it even explains what they mean. So it means I can't get in too much trouble now, can I? She says. Each live, I'm pulling out a couple of these where you girls can have a guess at the meaning behind it. If you want to cheat, by all means cheat and ask whichever device you've got in the house. But if you just want to have a giggle, pop your guesses really into the chat. Now I'm trying to remember, what number did we get up to last night, Kath? I did go and have a look, but it didn't quite work. Fell off the back of a lorry. Done that one. I think we're up to number 34. Right, okay, so hold on a minute. What are you guys saying about Trekkie? Okay, so Kath had said she wouldn't call herself a Trekkie, but Next Generation fan too. And also says yes. Yes, also gay. That's the detail. Haha. Detachable stuff is handy. Now that's another reason why I like data. And Crafty's come in with we've established she's he's not exactly straight, right? A Picard is gay and not data. That's all right then. That's double the problem where Picard is concerned, Alice. Yeah, we have. Laugh out loud, says Kath. Don't ask me to remember anything from yesterday, says Kath. And Romin with Romer is in. Rover, sorry. Welcome in, Romin. She's saying good morning to everybody. And Crafty said either way, it's not really about that because it's about him gradually becoming a badass. What, Data? Data was never bad. That was his brother. Right, okay, so let's get on with our very first one of these phrases. If I said this one last night, girls, could you say, done that one, Gil, and I'll move straight on to the next one. Okay, you've got a chance today of getting your hands on a winners only pattern, which of course is Bad Brother. So just have a go, have a guess, and we'll see how we go. Most of you have already got it anyway. Right, so this one is having a chin wag. Okay, so the phrase is having a chin wag. Only 52% of people have ever used it or know of it. That's really bad. I have a chin wag quite regularly. And no, that wasn't a clue in any way, shape or form. Okay, so Kathy's saying laugh out loud. Angie's so stuck on Data she isn't even thinking of Picard anymore. Oh no. As I said, Data is brilliant. He comes with detachable parts. You can swap his head. He has an off button. And he likes doing housework as sign of affection. Perfect man. Perfect. That's one of the films though, Crafty. There we go, I'll show that one. Oh, I got beaten to it. Okay. Right, so where are we? Okay, so we've got Amy coming in with gossiping. Cass says she doesn't know this one. And Jane says talking. And Crafty comes in with, oh no. Picard is a bad boy. Don't you remember him going back against the Borg in Star Trek Nemesis? That was the film though, not the series. I haven't got round to watching the films. That will drive my daughter absolutely insane when I start on them from the beginning. I'll see if I can find them all on Netflix. So Roman is saying visiting, talking. Trish is saying chatting. And having a chin wag equaling chatting. And Kathy's saying she hasn't watched the movies yet. I'm trying to think which one of you girls is left that hasn't got this pattern. Right, so we got having a chin wag. The meaning is to have a friendly conversation. Its origin simply refers to two words: chin, which means when conversing, and wag, as in more quickly from side to side. Okay, so it's having a friendly conversation. So let's have a quick look. We got I think our first one in is Amy. Amy, have you already got this? Yep, you're on the list. You have you claimed it. It's in your email. So let's keep scooting down. Jane, hopefully I've got that email from you from yesterday. Roman, have you got it yet, darling? So our winner on this one, hopefully, if she hasn't got it, of course, is our Roman with Rover. Now we'll just wait and see if she has got it or not. If she has, then we'll just roll it on to the next one anyway, and we'll see how we go. Okay, so I'm going to, yep, got that, said that bit, said that bit. And Kathy said that she hasn't watched the Star Trek movies. She's had a hard time. Where is it gone? Had a hard time watching the movies where. Oh, okay. When the new ones where I can't pronounce the character's name. But where the chap from Heroes is now the new Spock. Yeah, that was a little bit confusing to start with, because I was used to him being such a bad boy, and all of a sudden he's being all boring. Well, not boring, but Spock. It was really, really strange. It took me about 3 years to go back to it to watch them properly. And Roman doesn't have it. Well, she doesn't, but she does now. So congratulations, Roman. What I need you to do is, of course, read the description box of this video. It gives you a list of what you need to do. But the general gist is, when this video goes back into replay, pop a comment on. Then fire me off an email. I will give you a code to put into your comment that you put on this video once it's in replay. Once I see that, I'll fire you over your a PDF pattern. So congratulations, darling. So Crafty is saying, oh, that was just wrong, Kath, in regards to the new Spock. No one will beat the old Spock, really, will they? And Roman is saying that she is a Robin. Okay, thanks, darling. Just pop your channel. Make sure it is a new email that you fire over to me if you fired me one previously. Make sure it's a new one, and that you put the title of today's live in the description, so I know that that's where it's from. So it saved me having to sit here scratching my head going, help. Okay. Right, so Crafty is legging it. She's saying, anyway, thanks for the chat, lovely humans. Gotta go to work. Hope you all have a lovely Valentine's. She's time travelling, gang. She's time travelling back to the future. I'll see you later, darling. Have a lovely day at work. Kathy's saying, have a great day, Alice. And Roman is giving us some claps. And Kathy's saying, Leonard Nimoy forever. Exactly. Especially with that gorgeous singing voice of his. Oh, this is where you tie from one set of TV programs into something completely different. Did you know he brought out a tune back in the 70s called singing about Bilbo Baggins? Yes, I'm that much of a nerd when it comes to this sort of stuff. Right, let's go back to these words, these phrases, shall we? Right, this is what you guys really want me to do. You want me to put a sock in it. Right, so the phrase is put a sock in it, and 52% of people don't know what this one is. Have you got any ideas? And Crafty is back in with, sorry, she was chin wagging on the phone. Yay, it's back in regular use. Sweet. So Kath said, no, she didn't know about Leonard I can't say his name today. Leonard's musical career. It's actually, there is a link to it on YouTube. There is the video there. I will find it for you, and I will stick it on to the description box of this video. Yeah, onto this video when it goes into replay. Sorry, I've just had to uncover a comment, but I got beaten to it again by Kath. Thanks, darling. We on 1:30? Yeah, 1:45, right? So let me jot that down. Oh, where have we gone, Spock? Right, oh, this one's going to get us all in trouble, isn't it? The put a sock in it comment. Right, okay, so alright, so Roman is saying she's so happy she popped in on a work break. She is working on this week's square. Yay! She's doing this one, gang, this one. You're doing washcloths, though. Is this going to work for a washcloth? I thought it'd be a bit too lacy. I will have to find out when I come and be nosy on your channel later on in the week. Right, so we got shut up, shut your pie hole, says Kath. We got shut up and be quiet, stop yakking, says Sarah. Quit talking, be quiet, says Roman. We got a Trish saying, shut up. I tell you what, they're going to think you lot are right evil to me. Right, how can 52% of people not know this, says Kath. Put a sock in it and shut up, says Trish. Stop talking, says Amy. Right, okay, so put a sock in it means to shut up. And that's the words that are in front of me here, not yours, but the one on the right up. It says, shut up. The earliest known mention of this phrase is in a letter published in the London Literary magazine, the something or others, of the 8th of August 1919. I am actually just going to copy this meaning so you girls can all read it. Because it's got some long words in and my brain's not in gear today. Right. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to do it in 2 parts. Okay. Give me 30 seconds. Do that. Do that. Oh, Kath sneaked in. Don't panic. Just right. Okay. So let me finish reading this one off for you. It is. The London Literacy magazine, in the 8th of August 1919. So the expression "put a sock in it," meaning leave off talking, singing or shouting, should be included into the list of slang in war times. So I wonder where that was first written then, but I wonder who pretty much said it first, because we're getting closer now, aren't we, in these different slangs to sort of our generation, and I wonder what we came up with that we're going to end up leaving behind. Right, okay, so I think everybody is now on to bragging rights. I think all of you have got this. I've got the winners only video pattern now. Have any of you not got it in chat? Stick in chat whether you've still got to win it, or whether you've got it, or whether you will be getting it when you claim it. Ooh. If you can hear that, the wind has picked up outside. So there we go. That is putting a sock in it. I'm trying to work out who got in there first. So bragging rights would be... Kath. Shut up. Shut your pie hole. Yep, so Kath was in first. So you've either got the pattern, honey, or you've got bragging rights. Sarah said that she's already got it, so she doesn't need it. So we're just basically going to... It's looking like everybody in chat has now got it, which means we can just play this for playing sake, which will be pretty cool. And Kath is on bragging rights. Sweet. Trish still needs to win it. Okay, so you got it, Trish. It's yours. Congratulations. It's me being rather cheeky here. So, yep, fire me off that email, and make sure you pop a comment into this video. When it goes into a replay, I will be checking all emails and comments on this video when I get back from the school run later on today. Okay, Sarah is saying not got it, it says. Does that mean that you haven't got the pattern either, Sarah? Okay, so Sarah hasn't got it. So let's see if Sarah can get in first on this one. Because, yep, she is definitely mad as a hatter. So that is mad as a hatter. And that is definitely our Sarah. So what's the meaning behind this one? I hope anyway. I really should have read it before I told you guys that it's Sarah. Oh dear. Oh, sorry, honey. Okay, where's the nice bit? Okay, maybe not, but there's a long bit on this one. And what time is it where I am, Roman? It is now just coming up to 2 p.m. in the afternoon. I think I'm +5 for you, give or take an hour. Righty ho, we got 3 of you saying crazy. So Sarah, you've gone and won it, honey, because the 2 above you have already got it today. Right, so congratulations. Make sure you find me over a new email stating today's live name, and then I'll remember it's from here. Crafty is saying mad as a hatter. That's her territory, right? Okay, so Kathy's saying cuckoo in the coconut. I actually know where this expression comes from. The glues and metals, the hatters. Oh, you sport. I was going to read this out. Right, okay, so the meaning of a mad as a hatter, which of course only 51% of people know, is meaning that you're mental. Originating from the mercury poisoning suffered by hat makers, though popularised through the Mad Hatter character in the Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. The origin of the phrase predates it. Mercury was historically used in the making of hats and is known to have affected the nervous systems of hatters, causing them to tremble and appear insane. The use of mercury compounds in 19th century hat making, and the result effects are well established with mercury poisoning, as is still known today, and it's still known today as the Mad Hatter's disease. Yep, so we're all crazy here, aren't we, says our Sarah. Yeah, it's really strange, isn't it, how different things are said and done. Sorry, I just had a ping and I missed it slightly. Who is it? Oh, it was Jane confusing me. Oh, there we go. Okay, so our next one. Oh, actually, I do this one quite regularly on camera, but I don't say it. Maybe I should say this phrase more often. Sorry about all these pings, gang. This is my daughter complaining. She's on a break at the moment, and I think her bag's exploded in her crisps. Or a crisp bag exploded in her bag, so she's now got crisps all over everything. I shouldn't laugh. It's not funny. Right, okay, so our next one is spend a penny. How many of you will know this one? This is a very, very UK-based phrase. I'm thinking it would be spend $1 or 25 cents over in America. Kathy's saying, tell my daughter to put a sock in it. She shouldn't even be using the Facebook chat at the moment. But we'll have to wait and see. Right, so Sarah is saying, do a wee. Amy is saying, using the toilet. And Jane says, going to the toilet. Okay, I think we say going for a winky tinkle, says Sarah. I think it does depend on where you are and who you're mixing with, doesn't it? I must admit, I still use the phrase, oh, I need to go and spend a penny. If I'm out in town and I'm with family, the older generations, to me, it's a phrase that they use quite regularly. Whereas if I said that to my kids, they know what it means, so I'm all right. But if I'd said it to one of their friends, they would look at me with a blank expression and think that they need to put me in an institution because, like, I'm coming out of weird randomness. And then you have to sit there and or stand there and explain it to them. So Jane has pretty much come in with it, I believe. She said, you had to pay a penny to use the public toilets. Roaming has not heard of this one. As I said, it is quite a UK thing. Right, so the meaning for this one is needing to use the toilet. It refers to the use of coin-operated locks on public toilets, which were first introduced outside the Royal Exchange in London in 1850. However, it's first recorded as... it was first recorded use wasn't until 1945 when it appeared in Linda Lewis' novel Strange Story. As of course nowadays, what was it, about 10 years ago it used to be, it moved up from spend a penny to spend 20p. Or no, 10 years ago, because I had one in my local town. You had to pay 20p to spend a penny. It was really strange, they never gave you change. Now it's up to £1. What is that? Inflation. And the toilet roll in there is the old stuff that you used to nick out the toilets when you were at school, to use as tracing paper because it was like wax coated. You can't wipe anything with that. I think they've done it though so that, of course, during they also had to shut off all of the toilets during the first COVID lockdown here in the UK because people were going in, spending £1 and emptying the toilet roll holder out of toilet roll because nobody had any because the shops had run out. Okay, so Kathy's saying it's 50 cents here, nothing in America. They are outraged that they have to pay for public toilets here. Kath said she'd never heard of this one before. Kath has also said she'd not heard this one either. Romin said she saw a pay toilet once about 40 years ago and it was a dime. And Sarah's saying toilet roll. In regards to what people were nicking out of the toilet when they paid £1 to spend a penny. Okay, so now we're coming on to ones that I'm hoping some of you will know a lot better because I'm sure that this next one has been in circulation. If for some reason I've got the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in my head for this, but probably not. Kathy's saying a waxed toilet paper sounds awful. Honestly, darling, it was waxed on one side and rough as out on the other. So you didn't really want to use either side of it, and it didn't matter if you'd scrumpled it, like crushed it up, or if you folded it. It just didn't work. It's horrible. We'd rather have had one ply normal toilet tissue. You would have happily had one ply over this other cheap stuff that they used to get. Oh, okay, so Sarah actually knows the name of it. It's called Izzle Bog Roll. It was the horrible hard stuff. Okay, I was thinking you'd misspelt something then, or I'd misread it anyway. Yeah, what was it? I belong to a group on Facebook, and it was for our old infants and junior school. And they've knocked it down and turned the school into houses. And when they were clearing it out, of course, they'd got rid of this massive mural that all the kids had made back in the 1980s when the school had turned 100 years old. So it was all made out of bits of clay, and they'd stuck it to the wall. And this stuff was properly stuck because when it got taken down, it had already been up for 25 plus years. And one of my bits was on there, but we weren't able to save it. It got broken when it got taken off. But they actually found a box of the toilet roll in one of the storerooms. So they were trying to auction it off to raise money, and no one wanted it. It's like, no, you can bog off. We don't want your bog roll. Kathy's saying that they had a grey and a rough paper. It felt like sandpaper. To be honest, the wax one did as well. Jane is saying, but it was better for you, and her dad used to use it because he had piles. Yeah, I'm not having a whole half-hour conversation on bog roll. We can't do it, surely. No, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so our next one is cool as a cucumber. 51% of people know this, and the other ones are about to make it up for themselves. This could get really naughty. Kathy's saying that the toilet roll belongs in a museum. Well, what they actually did was, with the mural that was on the wall that they'd taken down, they put that onto a board and they re-glued it onto a board, so it looked very similar to the original. There was bits and pieces that were missing, and we had a local artist come in and they made the missing pieces, because we also had photographs of the original as well. They're dated back to like the 1980s, these photographs did. So we had some of the original kids that made the bits standing in front of it, and that picture was framed along with all the other pictures as well, and they documented them being removed and then reboarded and remade. And there's a museum that someone's actually set up just about the school. So now people are going up into the loft or garages and stuff like that, and finding things from when we were in infants and junior school, which is what this school was. So it was from the age of 4.5 to 11. Okay, so that was the age group. And finding all the old school photos, the old prayer books, the hymn books, finding your old school books basically, and school photographs, and everything's getting photographed and uploaded onto this Facebook page. And then if it's anything of interest, they'll either ask for you to send it in to them so that they can put it in the school museum, or it's basically it's on Facebook anyway for everyone to go ooh and ah to. I joined up and they were asking what teacher was your favourite, and I named my favourite teacher, which was my junior year 1 teacher. Now, he'd just left teaching school, and he knew about dyslexia because he'd been taught about it, whereas the other teachers at the school were a lot older and didn't. And so of course I've tipped up in his class, being dyslexic as I am, and he spotted it. So then he used the techniques that he'd been taught to teach me to read and write and all the rest of it. So he was the best teacher since sliced bread. He was perfect, he was lovely, and I did have a bit of a crush on him. So of course I've admitted this on this forum, to which he's come down underneath and gone, well, thank you very much, you've made my day. I tell you what, I went bright red. Thankfully I was sitting behind a screen, so he couldn't see it, but I did tell him, you've made me go all bright red and stuff. But he lives in a different country now, otherwise he'd said if it wasn't, he would have been at the group meetup, and then he'd have embarrassed me even more, because he's got some right dodgy stories about me, but he won't say any of them. No, Sarah, I didn't send a photograph of the horrible toilet roll. The horrible toilet roll wasn't actually mine, but I did see it. Right, okay, so you've all had a guess now while I've been chatting away about cool as a cucumber. So the first person to come in and get it, or at least close to it, is our Amy. She said calm and collected, but it's actually calm and relaxed. So you're teaming up on bragging rights between yourself and Rover. Congratulations, girls. Right, okay, so the meaning is calm and relaxed. The phrase was first recorded in a poem by the British poet John Gay. The poem is called New Song on New Seam Lines, and it was published in 1732. Cool as the cucumber could see the rest of womankind. I think I need to read that poem. That sounds quite raunchy. Oh, okay, Sarah. Sorry, no, I haven't. I don't open anything else normally up yet. I'm still not a master of it because, of course, I've got this thing about clicking X to close pages. So if I do that, I'm liable to close off the live stream. But Sarah is saying that she has sent me a photograph of the horrible bog roll. Oh dear. Kath, I was actually a very well behaved child. She's saying that she thinks that my teachers could write a book about me. I was a very well behaved child. I think one of my school reports said something along the lines of if your daughter spent as much time on her work as she did daydreaming, she'd be going for testing at Mensa. Basically, the first good few years of my school life, I spent daydreaming out of the window because I couldn't read what was put in front of me, so I couldn't do the work. It wasn't until I went to that teacher's class that he realised what was wrong and he knew how to help me. Once he worked out how to help me, everything just started getting easier for me, and so I was able to do stuff. So by the time I left that school, I had a reading age. Instead of an 11-year-old, I think my reading age was about an 8-year-old. My writing was about 6, because I'm able to take information in, I'm just not able to bring it out as easily. But then I went up to high school. I went into a special ed classes. It was a 2-year course that I'd finished in 6 months. Could I tell you 3 months later what I'd learnt in that special ed class? No, I couldn't tell you the next day what I'd learnt. All I know is that I'd done it and I'd completed it. Yay for memory loss. But yeah, I was quite a quiet child. I would just sit in the corner daydreaming. So Kath is saying cool as a cucumber. She didn't realise that phrase was as old as it was. No, I thought it came from like the 1970s. But no, originally penned in 1732. Okay, this one's a bit different. Well, it's not. It's along the same idea. It's actually food related as well. And the next one is number 39, and it's gone pear-shaped. Only 51% of people actually know the true meaning behind this one, and I think some of us are going to come out with our version of what it means to us now. Kathy's saying, unfortunately, there are so many more learning aids for dyslexia now these days. Yes, there are. It's brilliant. And I was quite because I knew the symptoms and the signs, I was able to tell my auntie that my cousin had dyslexia when he was about 7 or 8. I said to her, get him tested. I was about 16 at the time. I was babysitting. And then my brain cell who comes on here, I said to her about one of her lads. I said, get him tested, darling. I think he is dyslexic. And she got him tested, and he was. But then he is our brainy smart, because he is now in the Navy, and he is doing so well, and he's getting promoted above everybody else and above the curve that he's meant to be on. He's shooting through all of it and doing absolutely brilliant. I'm so proud of him. And if he ever watches this, happy birthday for the other day, you old git. I can say that now, he's over 21. Right, so Amy is saying, she's saying it's gone wrong. Sarah says all gone wrong. Rover has said nope, not a clue. Kath said she's never heard of it, but she's guessing it's gone wrong. And Trish has come in with gone wrong. Right, okay, so the meaning of, where is it? It's gone pear-shaped, right? So the meaning is to go wrong or fail miserably. It's thought the phrase originated with the Royal Air Force to describe pilots' poor extensions of the loops in the air, ending up with the shape, instead of being a round shape, it looked more like a pear. So that's where they think the phrase came from originally. Right, so Roman is back to work. Have a safe day at work, darling. Okay, where have we gone? Paste. There we go. Right, and we will call this next one the last one today, girls, because I've got to leg it shortly. I've got some housework to do, and then I've got to go and get Madam from school. And you lot all seem to be sort of chilling out now on your sofa with your crochet, and it's making me quite jealous. Right, so this very last one, I have said this on the channel and then gone, oops, I shouldn't say it. But I know that's just mainly because of the wording of it rather than the meaning behind it. Okay, so number 40 is, it cost a bomb. That is, it cost a bomb. What do you think that means? And I'm sure you girls will know it. If you don't, I am going to be shocked. Oh, you've all gone quiet. Amy's in with extremely expensive. Sarah's saying very expensive. Anybody else? Kathy's saying, laugh out loud, guess it's expensive. Never brought home though. Okay. Alright, I don't know how many of you girls are left here. I'm down to 7. Okay, Sarah's saying she's off back to work. Bye all. Right, so before she quickly legs it, I best tell you what it cost a bomb means. The meaning is to be extremely expensive. Its origin is not entirely clear, though it is thought to have been first used during World War One. That is a cost a bomb. So now we know. No, I've never brought a bomb either, Kath. Unless you call it a bath bomb. I don't like them things. They make me bath dirty. That's only because my daughter used to like buying the ones that has the flowers that explode out of them, and then like in the petals and stuff, and she just leave it floating, and you're like, ugh. Right, so Sarah is off now. Bye bye, Sarah. Have a nice day. And Trish sneaked in with expensive, and that's right. So we're all done. We're all winding up for this evening. If you've made it to the end of this live and you're watching on replay, pop a comment in the description box down below. At the end of the month, I'm going to pull out a couple of names, and hopefully somebody will comment on this video that hasn't already got the pattern, and then I will shout it out in the last whips and bits of the month. So, of course, that is another chance for anybody that has watched the live all the way through, or even joined in today. It's your chance to get your hands on a copy of this pattern if you haven't already won it. And to all my winners today, please remember to send me over an email and pop your comment in the comment section of this video once it goes into replay. Then when I get back from doing the school run, I'll come in and check out who's sent me messages, and I will send you over your code words to pop into your comments, and then I'll be able to send you over your pattern once I've seen you've done it. Right, I'm going to head off now. I will see you all really, really soon. So if you can, please stay in and definitely stay safe. And ta-ra for now, everybody. Oh, I've forgotten the button again, girls. I've forgotten the